So, one of the questions I am asked pretty frequently is how in the world does sewing machine service work? There is a big gap in knowledge, and I think it just doesn't occur to anybody until it needs to happen. Um, Unfortunately, most machines do need annual service. If it's an old mechanical, maybe 18 months to 2 years. But we're to a point where it's so inconvenient and so frustrating that I'm lucky if customers do bring their machines in for routine service. So they come in. In fact, COVID has brought out a bigger issue that we did not see coming. Our demand for machine service skyrocketed, but the majority of the people that are coming to us have never ever had to have machine service before. And what was baffling to me is how many people were like, I didn't even know anybody does this. So everybody kind of is falling for the disposable machine myth, which means you buy a machine, you use it, you throw it away, and then you buy a new one. I mean, that can be true depending on what machine you buy, but it did baffle me that people didn't realize that there were still sewing machine technicians. So people are always asked, well, how do you even get into this industry? And they will go Google and find, oh, there's no vocational school. You can learn to weld, you can learn electrician things, you can learn car maintenance and repair, but there is no school for sewing machine service. So in this video, I kind of want to break down to you the options and how and why we exist, but so you understand what the industry looks like. The most common, assumption is that there is a school. There is no official program, which is a shame. It makes me sad. There's a gigantic demand for it. There are plenty of opportunities. I think it should be a vocational school. And in fact, my 10 to 15 year goal is to have sewing doc recognized as an actual vocation where we can get into community colleges and teach our skill. That is like bucket list goal for me because we need technicians very badly. Okay. But kind of your only options, there's a couple, but they're not many. Your options right now are to become affiliated with a dealer of a certain brand, and then that dealer sends you to that brand's school or training. So you have Viking, Brother, Janome, Juki, Singer, Pfaff. What am I missing? White, Elna. Some of those are covered under other brands. All of these brands are a major national distributor. But you have to be affiliated with a dealer. As an independent person, you cannot waltz in there and learn their trade. It's designed as a business model. I get it. I think it's frustrating, but the model is the only way it would work. The reason you can't walk in there as an independent is because technicians need to be able to support a dealer. Dealers sell machines and they sell more when they have good support. Okay, so you can't put independents in there competing with the dealer. But let me tell you about those programs. So we're looking at modern machines now. The entire market is modern machines. They have come a long way, baby. I just finished my Viking training, and one of the machines we worked on was the Epic 2. Mind-blowing machine, by the way, and probably one of the most advanced on the market I've ever seen in my life. And I think we maybe made 2 mechanical adjustments on that entire machine. When you take in comparison a Singer Kenmore or a Singer 301, everything is mechanical. If you're going to set your timing or your feed dog position or how much they raise and lower or anything on that machine is going to be with a tool in one hand and glasses and a magnifying glass and light on that machine. For those advanced machines, which are the majority of major brands now, you're making all your adjustments in a computer system because their function is completely different than this machine over here. Okay, so the way they teach it is not bad. It's just that there's no need anymore for the basics. I have done really well in all of my training with these major brands because I do have mechanical knowledge and training, and the majority don't. I would be terrified if I were a brand new technician and went into one of these brands and that was the only training I got. I would be terrified to come out of there and work on sewing machines. I've said that since day one of my official training because I had 9 years of actual mechanical experience before I went into one of these big programs, I would have been scared beyond belief, and I don't know that I would have ever touched a sewing machine after that. I would have hoped and prayed that nobody ever brought a machine in for warranty work. Okay, so you can be affiliated with a dealer and go in and get training and work for them. The only other option is finding an independent school like mine. There's a handful out there. They all operate a little differently. And the third option is to teach yourself. And thankfully, Facebook has kind of propelled the amount of knowledge out there. YouTube as well. There are some really good experts. And while I do suggest that people check them out, I cannot tell you how hard it is to navigate bad information, because when you don't know how things work, you're trusting someone else who also doesn't know how things work. So you're going to find these individual videos of people that are like, well, I fixed this on my sewing machine, and it'll be your sewing machine. And the problem is you can make things worse because the issue with your machine could seem similar, but it's a totally different issue. So I do not recommend by any means a self-led learning experience on the internet anymore. When I started this 10 years ago, there simply wasn't any information. There was some to filter through, but now there's a barrage of information and the majority of it's wrong. I don't know any other way to say that, but that is one of the biggest sources of inspiration for me to do the Sewing Doc Academy, because everything you get in the Sewing Doc Academy is the exact same procedures we use in the Sewing Doc Service Shop. We're not trying to sell you snake oil. We're not trying to sell you quick fixes. We're not trying to tell you that you can take a weekend class and be a technician the next day, because that is not how this happens. It's a learning curve. I don't care what class you go to or sewing school you go to, or if you follow me for a year. You can pick up enough knowledge to keep learning, but you're looking at 10, 20 years before you really encompass everything you need to know. So it's a process. And with guidance, you can get there a lot faster. Okay. So the other question I get is about certification, and what does that mean? I don't know that there really is a technical certification. The way that the word is used is kind of iffy. Again, if you are affiliated with a dealer and you go to one of the major brands for their training, they may call you authorized or certified. And all that means is that you've gone and completed their training. And typically what they do is they walk you through 2 or 3 of the major machines, and you take everything out of the machine so you learn how to replace things, so that down the road when you need that, you kind of have something to recall. If you complete that training, as I have done with Brother and Viking, and soon to be Janome and Pfaff, they will say that you are certified to do warranty work for that dealer. So the dealer that I work for sent me to the training, and now I am certified to handle repairs and get parts for those machines. When you're working with an independent school like mine, if I use the word certified, it means that you completed the coursework. You probably took some tests, but you definitely demonstrated that you understand the concepts that I've taught you. If you don't understand those concepts and you can't pass a test, or you can't perform the necessary adjustments on a machine, I would not call you certified. Certified to me means that I am putting my reputation and my name behind you, because I know that you know how to handle it, if that makes sense. There are some independent schools that are there just to deliver the knowledge. They may call you certified if you show up, pay the money, take the class. You could be on your email the whole time. You could check out and get bored halfway through, and they may still call you certified. So you really need to look at what each school offers if that's important to you. If you come to my class right now and you get a certificate, does being certified mean anything? From a legal standpoint, absolutely not. All it means is that you demonstrated to me, and I felt that your knowledge is sufficient. It doesn't mean that there's any type of standard that is industry-wide. That's something I would personally like to change. But it is a big deal, because if you're going to learn from me and you're going to have a certificate that says Sewing Doc certified you on something, that's my reputation on the line. And this entire business is built on reputation, to the point that it's really hard, because I can't tell you how many machines have come into my shop that another shop has messed up. If that person's certified by somebody, I have a problem with that. So reputation is everything in this business. I'm not going to put my name or my signature or my reputation on the line for someone who definitely has not demonstrated the capability. So that is all that certification means. If somebody's telling you it's an official certification, it's only their official certification. So I think that that's just worthy of noting to keep yourself from getting something that is not what you expected, if that makes sense. So certified is really just a word.